Recently, some could say that South Africans have become used to living without power. But this is not a power cut. On 28 March 2009, the WWF urged the world to vote Earth by switching off their lights for 1 hour. Last year's Earth Hour event drew 50 million participants, and this year organizers hope to call in 1 billion to stand up and take control of the future of our planet. Nikki Coley, a representative of Rhodes Environmental Committee, explains.
2 years ago, maybe longer, that there was an email that went around, here's this idea, switch off your lights, and there was just 1 or 2 people who bothered. This year, because there's so much focus on global warming and our impact on the planet and that sort of thing, people said, well, come on, now we're just going to have this all-out campaign.
Coincidentally, Grahamstown is hosting the annual SciFest 2009 festival the same weekend as Earth Hour. In order to highlight the energy crisis in the country, some participants exhibited new exciting ways to produce energy for your household. One such participant is the Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University, who have developed a solar geyser system to convert solar energy into a household heating system.
You'll find that sunshine here is very wonderful, more than 10 hours in a given day during winter. So you'll find that it's actually very useful because we don't want to lose hot water when in winter when the Eskom switches over sometimes. So it's very viable.
The Alternative Energy Foundation is also committed to finding new sources of power. By splitting the hydrogen and oxygen molecules of water, they have developed a new viable form of hydroelectricity for the masses.
Considering the damage that is actually being caused by the current ways of generating electricity, I think it's a necessity for everywhere, you know. We're not burning any fossil fuels, so we're not contributing to global warming, we're not destroying the ozone layer, it's just exploiting natural resources.
However, many of these new innovations have one important detail in common.
It's extremely expensive.
So if you have the money, you can put it on. But in the far future, we are talking about having more of this for more homes.
I mean, when cell phones first came in, they were quite expensive. So that means in the near future, we'll be able to use this technology at a far more reasonable price.
So then, while South Africans battle with a struggling economy, what can you do to save energy? This is where Earth Hour comes in. The initiative hopes to enlighten everyday citizens about their role in combating global warming and climate change.
I have heard about Earth Hour. I saw it on the news the other night, and I'm going to switch my lights off.
Because I can't see at night.
It's a great way to cast our eyes on our own South African problems with electricity.
I don't know.
Yeah. The awareness that it generates is very beneficial to the environment.
Well, now that I know about Earth Hour, I'll definitely try to do more to preserve electricity.
But how successful was the initiative? The results speak for themselves. According to Eskom, more than 6.7 million light bulbs were switched off during the hour, the equivalent to a 15% drop in power usage. This is half the energy output of one of the Koeberg power station's reactors. The Earth Hour initiative in South Africa was perhaps not as successful as organizers might have hoped. But how does one judge the success of such a massive event?
I think it's probably more an awareness-raising thing. I think it's really important that people don't forget that each and every one of us has a role to play. And so we all need to kind of do our little bit of lobbying where we can and also make practical changes in our own lives.
This is Matthew Edwards for SciTV, Grahamstown.